Welcome everyone. The purpose of this meeting is to follow up from the last meeting, and tonight, the subcommittee, sustainable and environmental, is going to present the CCA authorization to the full city council. And the purpose of this meeting just to do a check note where we are and just give any update for those that doesn't know what CCA means. So therefore, I'm just first gonna entertain opening the floor with the City Council President, Councilor Letterman, just for a feedback update, and then we'll continue with Samantha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and to Councilor Govan and our guests today. I would simply say we had an excellent presentation. I think one of the most thorough presentations I have seen of CCA just a few weeks ago from Sam and her team. And there were many councilors that were present. I'd say about half of the council was present on that presentation. And I've heard excellent feedback from folks relative to what was presented and the benefit that CCA could have for the city of Springfield. This is something that I think has been talked about for quite a few years in Springfield. And I think that now is certainly the time to move forward with the process as we look at the volatility of the energy market, the need for us to have the ability here in the city of Springfield to advocate on behalf of our residents when it comes both to rate stabilization and when it comes to pursuing the type of renewable energy development that we must pursue to address the energy challenges that exist in this country, as well as the environmental challenges that have existed for generations here in the city of Springfield. So I am hopeful that we will be able to move forward with a vote tonight. And I know that Sam and Katie are here from the Live Well Coalition as well. They have done excellent work, and I am sure that they will continue to do excellent work advocating for implementation in the future. But what is before us at this point is really just the first step, which is to say that we want to authorize the administration, the executive of the city, to move forward, if they so choose, towards developing this sort of plan. And I think that I have the evidence that I need to be comfortable with that, and I'm hopeful that our colleagues will agree, Madam Chair. So at the appropriate time, I would like to make a motion to recommend from the Sustainability and Environment Committee back to the Committee of the Whole an approval of the authorization that's on the agenda tonight. But certainly I know we may want to hear just from Sam as well. So I'll turn it back to the chair at this time.
Thank you, Councilor Letterman. Samantha, the purpose, everyone has been speaking about the wonderful presentation, 2-minute presentation. I think it was very down to earth and very understandable to the community. So some of them that heard about the presentation did not see the presentation and wanted to see the presentation. So I know if you are able to do the presentation so the community could understand what is community aggregation and how are we moving forward with this plan. So the floor is yours, Samantha.
Thank you all for having us, Live Well Springfield, back. I'm here with my colleague Katie as well. And our teammates are kind of split up today. We do have our CHI site visit, peer learning conference, and Catherine, our expert, is traveling now to Morocco for one of her collaborative efforts around environmental work connected to Springfield. So I just wanted to highlight some key takeaways from the last meeting, some high bullet points for folks to kind of ground them on why this is possible and why it's important. Community choice energy is a long-term opportunity for price stability. And I think as we are currently in the crisis of our energy bill going up, and you probably have gotten it from Eversource this month, you know why it's so critical for us to provide something to community residents that they can manage their expenses with this looming cloud of a recession. We have to do everything in our means to make sure our communities, folks most vulnerable, impacted by any infrastructure or economic crisis, have some ground or backing. So community choice energy is that opportunity. I also want to say that research have shown that in other communities over time, that community choice energy does not significantly increase your utility bill. We're talking about your energy bill. So that was the question from our last meeting regarding our city councilors, like what is the impact of this? Over time, it is a stronger recommendation for price stability as for the research that have shown that. Residents have the option to pick whether they want to opt into this program or not. So they still can continue with their Eversource provider in the traditional fashion that they choose to. And there could be a progressive plan where they go to 50% versus 100% renewable. So there's still power in the people for residents to choose what works best for them. And that's something that we're offering. We're not taking anything away. We're just adding that option available for residents. Our charge right now is to ask for our city council to push forward this vote in order to start the process. The other thing with this initiative is that it's going to take some time. We're just getting in the game where other cities and towns, environmental justice communities in town have already taken a step forward. We don't want to be behind the 8 ball in this effort. We want to be part of the leading effort. So it is our turn to take the lead in pushing this forward, because this can take up to a year or two to fully implement and put in place. And as Councilman Lederman has mentioned, this is the first step in a longer process, because one city council has made the vote to push this forward for the mayor in position to pursue this. There's a lot of action that has to come that would keep this going. So this is the one step that we know will get the ball rolling. And we provide, our efforts on this is to provide information and resources to community residents to understand what it looks like. So on our website, we do have the informative videos that explain community choice energy in terms of what is how does energy get from the aggregator or the energy farmer to residents, and how that this doesn't change anything that they're doing currently in their household. And our little tagline is like with a flick of a switch, imagine what we can do with community choice energy in the city of Springfield. And Live Well Springfield's long-term goal, the resources from our funding partner, the Kresge Foundation, is to continue to educate and advocate with community residents. We launched a petition last month to get community involvement in this work. So those petition numbers are increasing each month. We have about 200 to 300 folks that are signing on, and our intention is to show that there's a driving community force for this. And if the community wants this because it knows it's going to help them overall with their utility bill, then we as community and city officials should honor what the community voice is. So that's all I have to share, and I'm welcome to open any questions that I can respond to, but I will defer that my expert researcher regarding community choice energy is Catherine, and she's not presently here.
So thank you for the information. I think it's very important that the community knows that they do have choices. I myself is getting educated through all this, so that's why I wanted to have another follow-up, because I know a lot of people in the community still didn't know about community choice. So far, Councilman Lederman, do you have any questions at this time, or do you want to further information on the matter, please?
I feel comfortable, Madam Chair, at this time, and I also feel comfortable that I can answer any questions this evening that our colleagues may have. I do intend to step down to speak on this alongside yourself and Councilor Govan. So Councilor Edwards will run that portion of the meeting, and that way we can get any questions answered that do come up. But I know I do see Councilor Govan has her hand up, so I'll defer to her. I just wanted to say one thing, though, that Samantha mentioned, is that we are very lucky in the city of Springfield, if we move forward with this process, to have the Live Well Springfield Coalition with the Public Health Institute, Arise for Social Justice, Wayfinders, and their collective organizing efforts behind this with the funding that they have secured. Because in many communities, when this goes forward, really the only community education that gets done on it is strictly through the city. And I think the three of us as counselors, especially being counselors with backgrounds in community organizing, we know you really need that peer-to-peer education on these issues for it to dive deep. And so I think that our vote tonight can show that we want the city to explore this. We want the city to go out and look for the resources in this regard. But I think that what I'm most comfortable with is knowing that the education won't stop after tonight, that they will be out there continuing to build support and continuing to educate the community about what this option could mean for them.
Thank you, Councilor Letterman. Councilor Govan, thank you for attending the meeting in the middle of working time. Very appreciative, and I know you have your hand up.
Thank you so much. And again, I just want to thank Samantha and her team for doing the work, right? Because I think if the city was tasked to do something like this, it would be a lot longer process, I believe. So I'm just grateful for, Live Well Springfield and the rest of the team that you guys are collaborating with to do this. One thing that I did notice after you did your presentation, I believe I received something in the mail from, I think community choice aggregation possibly. Is that possible, Samantha?
We have not sent out anything in the
I
mail.
haven't sent anything out. So then
Just
what that
signing.
means is that there are other people, I guess, now reaching out to us, which I think is a good thing, right? Because now people are paying attention and being interested in it. So I really agree with Council President Letterman that, tonight I'm hoping that we will be able to, put the motion forward and that the entire council will agree with going through this process, because I think it makes sense. I actually am keeping track of all the complaints that our residents are having about Eversource, about the high electricity bills. And I do want to have another meeting with Eversource and their, leaders to show them, that we need something different. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited to, move forward on this. Thank you, Madam Chair, for taking the charge on this. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think at this point, any other questions, concern? I think that we are ready to move Councilor Letterman in taking a vote for tonight's presentation and charging the subcommittee to recommend that CCA authorization be passed. So Councilor Govan, could you entertain the motion to send to the full board for tonight's meeting, please?
Absolutely. I so moved that we present this to the city council tonight.
And I second that motion. I think that this, I like Councilor Letterman said, our president is the first step, but the work that Live Well has done, I know the community is learning that we do have choices. I think to this point, any other matter concerning the CCA presentation?
Madam Chair, just to Councilor Govan's point on, I believe many of us received quite a few communications following the last presentation and the associated media. And I just wanted to share, I think, Councilor Govan, what those are is solicitations from energy consultants who I think are seeing that finally the third largest city in Massachusetts is looking at moving forward. And certainly we represent a very strong prospect for those companies. However, the selection of that energy consultant would come through a competitive RFP with the mayor's office. And so that would be, they'd be charged with going out and looking at who can deliver the best contract for the city of Springfield. And we would, of course, be providing, as always, the legislative oversight of that process. So I'm thankful to both of you for your leadership. It's been an excellent collaboration, and look forward to the vote both today and later this evening.
So at this point, Samantha, thank you. Live Well, great job. And I know this is the first step. So now I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Madam Chair, did you call the vote on the motion to recommend?
Oh, yeah, no, we
Yes.
have a motion.
Yes, I put a motion on the floor to recommend that CCA presentation authorization be presented to the full board at tonight's
Aye.
meeting. And we took a vote.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. See you tonight.
Good
Thank you
night.
all. Great work,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you.